First, clean the inside of the cup so that the outside of it may also be clean. Now, how many of you, when people come to your house, you just clean the outside of the cup, but the inside of the cup is dirty? I just want to know so I don't go to your house. I mean, just so I know for today's message. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Just one? No, nobody does that. That would be crazy. Now, obviously, you could relate this to it being dirty where somebody just polished the outside of their silverware or utensils, but on the inside, they're dirty. But Jesus was going a step further. So I wanted to illustrate that for you today, and since it is Super Bowl Sunday, I brought one of my Giants cups with me. Haven't been there in a while, but take it easy, not as long as the Jets, but nevertheless. Now, I have a couple things up here. Well, first of all, I have water, and I really need a drink, by the way, because I am getting a little parched up here. But so the cup, as I looked into it, and I'll just show you, is clean. Okay, so I drink this water, and I leave it there. Now, what if I had some other cup set out just like this giant cup, but you might say I have soda out, I have iced tea, but here I have some oil here, okay? I have some 5W30 here, okay? So I poured that in here, okay? You probably don't want to drink that, anybody, okay? So now you can't even really see what's in there. For all you know, it could be iced tea, it could be water. But nevertheless, this is what Jesus is talking about, is that the outside of the cup looks great, especially with the New York Giants name on there, okay? But on the inside, not only is the cup dirty now, the contents in this cup, if I drink it, are poisonous now. It's not going to go good for me if I drink all this oil right now. Jesus is likening the Pharisees to this, that basically you look good on the outside, but on the inside is nothing but poison. And he's connecting that ultimately to the heart, because earlier he said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." And so as we begin to look at this, we have to understand that our hearts spiritually might not be in a good place, even though we might look good, even though we might know all the Christian vocabulary, even though we might dress the Christian part, whatever that is, even though we might walk and talk a certain way, we still may be unhealthy on the inside. Now, physically speaking, we understand that. The human heart is a beautiful creation of Almighty God. And I brought one here with me today to show you. And the human heart is very complex. But we know that there is the potential that if I'm drinking and living in an unhealthy way, I can build up plaque in my arteries, and it could, without question, affect the flow in my heart, and that could lead to a heart attack if I'm not careful. And so there are different procedures that are done that if somebody, because of genetics or because of lifestyle, their arteries get clogged, you may have heard it, you may have even had one of these procedures called an angioplasty surgery, where they go, they put the balloon, they open up the artery. It's not a cure, but it's to open it up, and then they stick a stent in there, and that helps the flow to be better, Lord willing, and hopefully last. It's not an end-all. But the idea is that there's a blockage to the heart. For whatever reason, there's a blockage, there's been a buildup, and that blockage needs to be removed so that person can be healthy. Well, spiritually, we could get a blockage. The Pharisees had a blockage. That blockage was, we're going to find out in just a moment, was self-indulgence, was greed, was hypocrisy, and that made them unhealthy. So what does that mean for you and I? Is it possible for you and I to have a blockage? Yes. You might have a blockage today. You might look good on the outside, but on the inside, man, there's nothing but poison going in your body, nothing but poison in your heart. For whatever reason, we are all sinners. We all make bad decisions. Well, you need to do something about that. We don't need to wait till you just drop spiritually on the floor and give up altogether. You don't got to wait for that. So write this first principle down. Unclog any sin blockage with sincere confession. Could you say that with me? With sincere confession. You might have a clog right now, and you need the procedure, God's procedure of confession. You've been, for a while perhaps, You maybe not have been to the degree and the guile of the Pharisees, but in many ways you look good on the outside, but you're unhealthy on the inside.